The idea for these homes came from exposure to mass timber as a product. And mass timber is simply multiple layers of wood that's fastened together. And cross-laminated timber is laminate, glued. You can attach layers using dowels, you can attach layers using nails, hence the generic term of mass timber. And you basically take a layer, and if you're using a glue, then a layer of glue, and then you put a cross layer. They're typically 2x6s, they might be 2x8s, and then another layer of glue, and you now have 3 layers. You stand it up, and you have a mass timber panel. And mass timber panels are made 8 foot, 10 feet, typically 8 foot for transportation purposes, and 40 feet and longer. So you can take those panels, you can also build really quickly with them. A couple of the reasons we came to the notion of mass timber here was we understood the product. And then when the fire burned through an area, we realized that if we were going to build back, you need to build back smarter. And so to build back smarter, this is a product that it's been fire tested, 2 and 3 hour burns. It's been blast tested, 610 pounds of TNT being exploded in front of 3 structures, to the point where the Department of Defense saw the result and said, we may need to think differently about the kind of structures that we use. This is an incredible product. So when the Dixie Fire hit Greenville, we were looking at this and saying, how often are single-family homes made out of this material? And the architectural firm Atelier Jones we were referred to them by one of our colleagues, Steve Marshall. So we contacted them and they said, we'd love to start a conversation. And that led to design ideas, and we took some of the money that we received through the Indian Valley Strong campaign, along with a PG&E settlement fund. We put that together to say, let's do a design. Let's do a 2-bedroom, let's do a 3-bedroom design, and we said, let's do a 1-bedroom. So it led to 3 designs for the purposes of sharing with our community members so they can not have to pay for an architect, not have to fully understand this material, and there aren't a lot of people that work with mass timber. Most of those folks who do are building 3, 4, 5, 10, 12-story buildings. So the notion of single-family homes is relatively new in the US, and so there are limited design options. However, there are a number of them for big, lavish homes, and I think we're going to see a lot more of them because of the fact that they are so beautiful, functional, and can stand up to not just wildfire, but they are seismically safer. They are also, we believe from the blast testing, hurricane safe. And in fact, in Broward County, Florida, which is one of the highest hurricane risk areas, or one of the riskiest areas for hurricanes, the planning department said to a couple of architects, what's this product? What's the testing that you can show us? You want to build a house out of it. They showed the county the blast testing of mass timber. The county planners took one look at that, and the building code folks said, you're good, go ahead and build. And that was it. So it was the blast testing showing this is the kind of product that can stand up to all these different elements that are challenging our ability to stay in the places where we are. Another value of mass timber, which was another reason that we said this is a product we ought to look at here, how do you rebuild faster? How do you rebuild faster in light of the fact that you don't have the contractors? So we know from some of the fires in California that we've had, like the Camp Fire, when some 18,000 structures were lost in that fire, you cannot get people into homes that quickly. You don't have the contractors, they don't have the settlement. So we said, how can we do it quickly? And mass timber comes to mind because once you have a foundation, it takes you 2 to 3 days to set up the structure. So we also did a novel design with this to speed construction. We had wet cores fabricated off-site. So the wet cores are the kitchen, the bathroom, the laundry facility, and hot water heater. It all comes pre-packaged. It then is just dropped onto the foundation. So now this wet core is built off-site. Before all the walls and roof are up, you drop the wet core on. hook up the plumbing fixtures, and then you put your walls around it. You now have the house that's plumbed with the walls and a roof, and you do the finish work. So it's a 1/8 inch Corten steel, and we have our mass timber panel, which is 3 to 5 layers, typically 3 layers on the walls. It then has 9 inches of insulation. And then on top of the insulation, which is fire-resistant insulation, we then have that 1/8 inch steel layer. We are now hooking the 1/8 inch steel layer. It is being screwed into the wood underneath, so we're using, I believe it's 16 inch screws or 15 inch screws to attach that Corten steel for the skin of the building, if you will. So now we have steel on the outside, fire-resistant insulation 9 inches, that's Paths of House standards, and then we have the mass timber panels. We've completed now a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, and a 3-bedroom. We are now designing a 4-bedroom. We think some folks here have the ability to, they want something a little bit bigger at 1,600 square feet. So have those plans, and so we always had the intention of creating building plans for anybody who wants them. We paid for those, the development of those plans. You can walk into the planning department tomorrow and say, we're going to take the 2-bedroom and build it right on this site. You get a permit because the plans are pre-approved.